Coming up, we have stories about ruined holiday homecomings, overstepping stepmoms, backup plans, unwelcome vacation companions, snacking restrictions on kids, cheating reveals or lack thereof, and we also have spicy stories, mother-in-law stories, and petty revenge cake stories. Am I the astronaut for breaking up with my boyfriend after him telling me I ruined his holiday homecoming on my birthday? So I broke up with my boyfriend on the night of my birthday after a situation that left me feeling completely unsupported and humiliated, and I'm still trying to figure out if I overreacted or if my feelings are valid. He had been away on a 10-day holiday and was due to arrive back around 11:30 p.m. the night before my birthday. That night, I went to a karaoke event with my sister and a few people from his side, including his mom and his friend's sister. I didn't really want to go, to be honest. I was emotionally exhausted after finding out one of my closest friends had just been diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, which he knew about, but I went anyway to be polite. While I was there, things became uncomfortable. His friend's dad, who runs the karaoke, made a really crude sexual joke on the mic about my boyfriend returning home tonight in front of everyone, including his mom. Then when I got up to sing, he cut me off halfway through and said, "No one knew the song." I felt humiliated. Rather than get upset and causing a scene, especially since my sister was drinking and I didn't want her to react, I quietly left. I messaged my boyfriend, who had just landed, and explained what had happened. I asked him not to go there. Instead, he went. When I told him how that made me feel, he got defensive and said I was making him choose between me and his mom, and told me I had ruined his holiday homecoming. His words. We'll go ahead and do this. He later asked to come over, but I declined. I was really upset. I knew in that moment he wanted to go there and have everyone comment on his tan.
What?
He did not care about my birthday or the fact that I was upset and going through it. This was all about his tan? What? The next day on my birthday, we argued. He told me I had been rude for leaving karaoke without telling anyone and that I had ruined everything. He didn't seem to care or even acknowledge the fact why I was upset or why I had left in the first place. I ended things that day and blocked him and everyone close to him. I needed space. After a few weeks and a lot of reflection, I reached out hoping to talk things through, but he blocked me. I even messaged his mom to apologize for unfollowing everybody and to try to explain why I left that night, but she never responded. Now I'm left wondering, am I the astronaut for expecting more from him? Was it too much to block everyone when I felt hurt and unsupported? Was I wrong for needing emotional support that night and being hurt that he didn't offer it? So the question is, am I the astronaut for breaking up with my boyfriend after him telling me I ruined his holiday homecoming on my birthday? Thoughts, Tata Rooney?
I mean, the boyfriend's definitely an asshole, 100%, to go to the event because he wanted to show off his new tan. I mean, I get it, tans are nice, but that's not the right choice in the moment. But I also kind of think...
Was she dating Tony Spark?
She dating Tony. I also kind of think that she left without saying bye because she got her feelings hurt. And then she immediately broke up with her boyfriend, which was totally understandable, but then blocked everyone. And so I do think her decisions are kind of rash. And then when she gets a clear head, she regrets that she broke up with the boyfriend and tries to get him back. So I would encourage her to communicate and let people know, get your closure if you're going to break up with him, rather than just blocking everyone and being done. That's because I feel like she regrets her decisions after she does them. That's what the feeling that I'm getting. So I would encourage her to communicate, but I don't think she's an asshole, maybe a little bit to herself by trying to reach back out to the boyfriend after a few weeks.
Yes, the few weeks there that gets me. I think it's the few weeks where it's more than just reflection. I think if it were a day or two, that would be I thought about it. And, and I feel like I need to have that reflection or that closure. But a few weeks says to me, I got lonely and wanted to reach back out and see if I could salvage things because I'd rather go through that pain than start dating all over again, which is selling herself short, right? And the other part about this and communicating is huge for this, where, if you get hurt by something, rather than creating a boundary, just leaving
Right.
And you have every right to leave and remove yourself from an environment where
Absolutely,
you
yes.
aren't welcome, right? You have every right to do that. He failed hard by not
100%.
choosing you, OP. Like that's the big failure here. Yes, he's a douche canoe asshole. He's a brozo. We'll hit that button in a second. You are not an asshole in this situation, but you can learn how to handle things better and
Right.
communicate better and maybe prevent this kind of situation from happening in the first place next time. Maybe not with this douche canoe, but with your next partner. There's the overreaction.
Overreacting,
And
yeah.
then when there is an overreaction
To herself, right.
A lot of times you like the pendulum swings as hard back the other way,
There
right?
you go.
And if you think about it and act in the way that you really want to act, then then the pendulum isn't swinging back
Yeah.
as far the other way.
That's a good question. I mean, did it say that it was his welcome home party or was it for her birthday?
I mean, it doesn't really say. She went to a karaoke
With her sister and
and a few people from his side. So it was just karaoke. But his friend's
But he
dad
was supposed to be
runs
there.
the karaoke. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
His holiday homecoming. Okay. And it's not like holiday homecoming like I was thinking, like it's a college break, like a Christmas break
Right.
or Thanksgiving break or something. It's holiday, like vacation homecoming.
Yeah.
It's the show off your tan party for him, which is like, come on, dude.
I don't think he took her seriously. And I guess I don't think he took her seriously when she left. And I think in relationships, if you're always overreacting, expecting a response from your partner, I do feel like it desensitizes them to a reaction when you're truthfully, like
That's true.
with every right. She
Yeah.
has every right to be upset, but it does desensitize that situation if you're always over the top.
If you're
with your
always at an
reaction.
11.
Yes. And I'm not saying this is like, I think that's something you learn as you get older, as how to manage that and not react that
I'm
way.
still working.
But she had every right to break up with this guy for what he did. And she exercised that right. And that does not make her the asshole. But I do caution her against reacting in the moment. Like, keep your peace, say what you need to say, and communicate through it, and still dump his ass if that's what you want to do.
For you, OP, an official NTA here. However, I feel like we got to get a couple of buttons pressed for Brozo here. Brozo is an easy one. Also, I'm going to go ahead and give him this. Good gravy. Knew that you were mistreated there, still chose his tan over you. And I think that's the moral of the story here. What a dick. Am I the astronaut for not giving my stepmom the experience of being a girl mom? I, 16 female, have divorced parents and 2 older full brothers, 19 male and 21 male. I was 5 when the divorce happened and 7 when my dad remarried. My stepmom had a son, 20 male, when she met dad, and her and my dad have 2 sons together. My younger half-brother is 7 male and 5 male. Back when we met, my stepmom was extra nice to me, and even my brothers told dad it was like they weren't there. After that, she was less obvious about it, but she always was more interested in me and made a way bigger effort to be close to me. I never liked that. I don't think she was trying to make me uncomfortable, but I heard her say to a friend of hers that she was excited to have a little girl among the 3 boys now in the house, and it made me feel like she wanted to be my mom, and I was always a mama's girl. There's nobody I'm closer to than my mom, and I never wanted another. Plus, my parents shared custody of me, so every other week I was at my mom's house, and it wasn't like my stepmom was my custodial step-parent or anything. She never made the effort with my brothers, not once. She did spend time with her bio sons, step and half-brothers, but she even made less of an effort with them. It was always kind of awkward around dad's house when I was there every other week, and last year I decided to reduce the time I spent at his house. He understood my reasons and told me he'd like me to reconsider but wouldn't fight about it. Only now that I'm not there as much, my stepmom's more pushy about us spending time together. She's always pre-booking spa days to try and make me hang out with her. She wins. I know she doesn't win most of those and only says it to try to make me go. A lot of lunch for 2 prizes online for places I like to go. And whenever I go with her, she's trying to make it last forever. So I say no 99% of the time to stuff, and I always make excuses to have to leave after an hour or maybe maybe 2. We're at lunch for 2 hours? What's going on here? She told me she hates that I'm not spending time with her so much, and she's tried everything and she doesn't understand what she did wrong. She told me it's not that I'm too embarrassed to be seen with my parents because I go out with my mom all the time, and she even sees me include my friends in hanging out with my mom. I told her that's the difference. That mom's my mom, and we're very close. She said she's my other/bonus mom and only ever wanted to experience being a girl mom, but the only girl doesn't want anything to do with her. She said she feels robbed, and I told her it wasn't my job to make up for her only having boys, and that she's only my stepmom, not my real mom or my second mom or my bonus mom. I left Dad's house early because of my stepmom, and Dad texted me that night saying that she was upset and that he hoped we could work it out. That was followed by 3 texts from her saying I was unfair and never gave her a chance to be my bonus mom for her to be a girl mom. It feels gross. Ew. It's like
You're trying too hard, stepmom. It's the same thing like in a relationship, like when you're smothering her, and so she doesn't want to be around it. I think that's kind of human nature.
Love bombing doesn't work on everybody.
It
drives people away.
Especially when there's an imbalance in how she's treating her stepkids and even her bio son. Like, I think stepmom needs therapy for not having had a daughter, because I can't imagine how she would treat a bio daughter versus her sons. I feel like that would be a huge imbalance. So hopefully,
it seems like she's using OP as like a therapy tool too, right?
Yeah,
Instead of actually trying to resolve anything, and then resents the fact that she didn't give the chance. It's not this kid's job to give you that chance. Just because she exists and you married her dad, it doesn't mean that she has a duty to like play house with you. It doesn't. And you know what? Teenage girls, especially teenagers, I mean, kids in general, are like cats. It has to be their idea. Right? If you want to do something, they're automatically going to not want to do it. You have to reverse psychology this shit. They're cats. It has to be their idea. Here, it is clear, like, there's love bombing going on, but it did not work on her, thank goodness. Some people are averse to that and immediately like, it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, I would feel overwhelmed if somebody tried to make me their everything and occupy all their time with us doing things together. Like, that would be... And kudos to OP for being 16 and standing up for herself in this way and like saying, I'm uncomfortable. This makes me uncomfortable. And her dad, at first I was like, yeah, great that dad sees it and asked her to reconsider, but I'm not going to fight. And then I hope you can work it out. Yeah. I'm like, it's not, instead of saying, I hope you can work it out, it should be, I'm going to encourage my wife to get therapy because she should not be treating my child like this.
I agree. And I didn't even think about Dad's role in all of this and what his job should have been. And I agree. He should be looking to protect his child there and understanding that he as a father is feeling pain for this too. She's already spending less time with you, Dad, because of the awkwardness she feels because of that. She's getting creeper vibes from your wife. And so she wants to spend less time with you. Like, yes, you should probably do something about that. And the right move there is therapy. But the damage has been done. And I don't know how you move forward from that. You know what I mean? And look, if in general, I don't think that kids in a blended family feel like they have to play that role or feel like they have to give the other parent the title of bonus mom. That's a thing that's earned, right? You earn that title. But OP immediately had like this, I'm a mama's girl. Like, my mom is my mom. I don't need a replacement. Right. And if stepmom had been trying so hard, they could have struck a balance. She could have enjoyed time over there, but there was so much pressure. And she took that as pressure or danger or risk to the relationship she has with her bio mom. That's why she hardened and built the wall, right? If it could have been complimentary instead of a threat, it would have been fine. This is not your job. It's not your job. She put too much pressure on it. She made it awkward. Your dad didn't step in to stop it and protect you. Like, it's not right that you were put in this position when the real position is her in therapy. And I'm sorry that you have to go through this. Hopefully she does make the right choice and you guys can end up spending some actual quality time together without that pressure existing there, right? But the damage has been done. So it's going to be on her to rebuild that bond in an authentic way that doesn't feel creepy. Am I the astronaut for punishing my daughter for not coming to my wedding? I got married last weekend in my parents' house, which has been in the family for generations. For health reasons, only immediate family were there. My daughter, 16 female, had been calling her new stepmom, 21 female, names like homewrecker and adult dirty worker, and I have been patient with her. She assumes I left her late mother because she had breast cancer. However, I did not leave her mother for having cancer. Nobody decides to have cancer. However, her late mother kept using her illness to devalue me and my sense of identity. She would criticize the way I was taking care of her and even stuff like my hygiene or the cologne I was wearing. She made me feel worthless, and I felt like she was projecting her own insecurities by saying the smell of my cologne was disgusting because she never made an effort to keep herself up. And despite the fact that I objectively found her disgusting sometimes, I stuck by her until even my self-esteem was destroyed. I would work hard closing deals all day and be acknowledged for my efforts at work, yet I'd go home and she would criticize and nag about every ounce of my being. I met her stepmom when I was in a dark place. She made me feel like I could be myself again. My wife made me feel unattractive and sexless, and with my new wife, I felt alive. Just the fact that she appreciated me and felt physical chemistry with me made me want to do anything for her, to want to provide for her. That's when I decided not to bullshit my wife around anymore and file for divorce. Since then, my daughter's relatives from her mom's side have been poisoning her against me. Last weekend, when I and her stepmom went to the side of the wedding early, we expected to see her drive to the wedding later, but instead she ended up going to stay with her aunt. Everybody asked where she was, and there was chaos from my side of the family locating her. As punishment, I took her car and allowance away, and I've taken her phone away until I feel that she can learn to be respectful towards someone I love very much. And that it will be impossible for her to do that if she keeps having to hear from her late mom's side of the family. My parents have called and said that I was being too harsh. However, even when things are tough, I feel I cannot let a child of mine believe that they can just do whatever they want. Am I the astronaut?
Yeah, 100%. Also, stepmom in the story is 21 years old. I think that's very relevant to the question. That's how I feel. Chemo can cause like your sense of smell to change, and things can be overwhelming. My God, this woman is going through cancer, and then she died, and you're using this as an excuse to punish your grieving child. Black hole, dickwad, because that is like the lowest of lows.
I'm trying to figure out what the timeline is. How long they've been together.
So he met, this guy is disgusting. So he did say that at the beginning of the story that she was 21.
Yeah.
So he did say, when you scrolled back up, I saw new stepmom, 21 female. So he started cheating on his wife while she was going through cancer treatment. And then he said she let herself go. Like, she let herself go because she was fighting cancer, like a war within her body. Okay, take a step back from this for just a second, because I think that unless you've been in that position, it's hard to speculate like how hard it is for both people being in a position where someone has like a terminal illness, right? Because I think I've seen the statistic on this. I don't remember what it is, but a lot of couples end up divorcing or splitting up or separating when one of them has a terminal illness. The stress of being in that situation makes everyone on edge. Everyone's fried. And I know that she going through her stuff is surely what fueled her criticism of him and not being happy-go-lucky all the time. Like, shit, how would you be, right? But it's not because the other person has this that things fall apart. It's the stress of the situation that makes it impossible to find happiness in that. And like, I get that would be really, really hard. But at the same time, like, OP here has to realize what he's done. He has to realize that like the situation is, yes, she had breast cancer. Yes, things got tough. Yes, I found a 21-year-old that made me feel like sexy time was possible again, and I would do anything for her now. He has to be able to realize that's what he did, and to realize what that looks like. Now, the other side of the family looking at the situation and being like, oh, he abandoned her when she was at her lowest. Oh, he did this just because she had cancer. Like, you have to understand their point of view there too. That's what it looks like. Unless you've communicated to them, like, you don't control the narrative, and you can't prevent them from telling her things, and you can't prevent her from hearing those things and drawing her own conclusion. I'm sure it was a really tough situation. I think he fucked up big time, and he's just rationalizing it in his brain, right? And trying to control things that he can't control. 100%, but I can almost guarantee if the role was reversed and this man had cancer and she would have been by his side and he would have been a dick, like 100%. And I just find it disgusting that your wife is going through something. I mean, it ended her life and you went and found a 20-year-old. I would assume she was 20 when they met. Like the fact that there's a number on how often men leave their wives when they get diagnosed with a terminal illness or some type of cancer is astounding. And I don't have any sympathy for this. I hope that the daughter moves out and lives with her grandparents, whichever set she chooses, because this is utter bullshit. Like I have zero sympathy for him because at the end of the day, like shit is hard. Cancer causes depression. Chemo causes depression. Like this woman is fighting for her life. And you're talking about the fact that she doesn't like your alone. Like there's zero sympathy in my soul for this, for people that do this to their spouse.
Have fun on this little trip. Am I the astronaut 30 male for keeping old stuff from my previous living situation in case of a breakup with my girlfriend 30 female, a sign of not being committed or just a safety net? Hey everyone, I 30 male have been living with my girlfriend 30 female for a while now, and we're going through a tough patch in our relationship. We're trying to work through our issues, but there's been some serious friction, and it's left me thinking about the future. Here's the situation. I still have some of my old stuff stored away in the attic, mostly duplicates of things we have in our home already, furniture, decorations, etc. from when we lived separately. A lot of the stuff we have out is actually her stuff, as she's picked things she prefers over mine in terms of design, which is true, she's got better taste. We've also invested a lot in furniture and decor together, which would likely go with her if we did break up. This also means that if we get rid of duplicates, it's mostly my stuff we would be getting rid of. I've kept some of my old things in case the relationship doesn't work out and I need a fallback. I also got rid of a lot of my things in the move-in together. Larger furniture, for example, couch. I'm a bit isolated from my family and friends. I'm originally from several states away. She's born and raised where we live. So the thought of losing everything if we break up is something that weighs on me. The issue is that my girlfriend views this as my preparing for the relationship to fail. I've tried to explain that I'm just trying to be realistic and protect myself, not planning for the end, but the fact that I have this backup in place has created some tension between us. I'm fully committed to working things out, and I've communicated that to her, but she doesn't see it that way. I get that keeping this stuff might seem like I'm anticipating failure, but it feels like security for me. The reality is, too, that this isn't a purely hypothetical situation. We've been struggling with some real stuff, and I'm not sure that we're going to be able to align on it. I'm all in to work on it and figure it out, but the reality in life is that sometimes there's not a way to move forward that's neither person's fault. In my mind, I view it a bit more as at a high level. Assets are individual, outside of shared things, until we are engaged. Financials are individual until we're legally married. So I guess my question is this behavior really a red flag? Is it truly a sign that I'm not fully invested in the relationship, or am I just being cautious in case things don't work out? I'm genuinely torn, and I'd really appreciate some outside perspective on this. Before I bring Candy Thunder on for this, I just want to pose one thing to you, OP. Reverse the roles. If your furniture was the on-display furniture, and she either got rid of all of her stuff, and if things did go sideways, all the furniture would go with you, would she want to hang on to a few things just in case? Would you make her feel bad about it? I don't think so. If she were in the position that you were in, you better believe she would have hung on to some of her stuff. That's my opinion here. Tater, what do you think?
No, I think after watching one of our friends have to get rid of all of his stuff and then end up in a divorce less than a year later and have nothing, like not even silverware, I don't blame him for holding on to stuff. But I mean, and it's in the attic, like, no, I don't blame him. He's been hurt. He's working through that. He's processing that. Like, it's obviously baggage from another relationship and something that happened, but he's not healed from that yet. And he still has scars from that. And so obviously, like, walking into a relationship without baggage is preferable, but we all have shit. Like, we all have stuff going on. We all have shit that comes with us everywhere we go. And so I think this is something that makes him feel comfortable, makes him feel better in the relationship. And like he said, he would, once they're engaged or getting married, like, things would change. So I think I don't find him to be an asshole.
I don't
honestly. And that's obviously from my perspective as watching somebody go through this. So.
Right. Okay. And even without that perspective, I think reversing the roles tells me that she would feel uncomfortable if she had nothing and all of your shit was on display.
Yeah.
And if things did and she'd have nothing, like she would be uncomfortable by that. So what about, okay, so I think we're all on the same page about NTA with him, or at least most of us. How do you feel about her reaction and her using this against him and saying you're preparing for failure here?
I think she needs to understand where he's coming from, what he's been through. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just it's stuff in the attic. Like we all have, like we have a family room and like furniture that we're not using in our living room. Like kind of, it's like, it goes up there. Like, I don't know. I don't see this. I don't think it should be something that should be used against him. Like I can understand what she's saying that but people sign prenups all the time. Like that doesn't mean that they're planning to get divorced. It just means that they're realistic, I guess, and maybe he's more realistic and she's more lovey-dovey. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I'm just using lovey-dovey, but
he's logical, she's emotional.
There you go.
Which would be normal, right? Like that's not uncommon, but it's asinine to me. It's asinine to me, and I would kind of put it in this context if you have the chance to have a conversation with her about what's happening here and her using this against you. That's the same mentality as someone who says that having an emergency fund is inviting disaster, right? Just because you are preparing for just in case things, or like saying just having a spare tire means that you're planning to have a blowout, right? It doesn't work like that. It's you preparing for the possibility is different than you like inciting it. You inviting it. It is not the same thing at all. It's not. Am I the astronaut for telling my mom she'll hold us back on vacation? You'll hold us back. For context, my mom deals with pretty bad spasms and leg pain. Not sure what the exact causes are. Could be arthritis. And because of that, she isn't active at all and will only go to play badminton one time per week, some weeks. I have encouraged and motivated her and tried to help her in any way I can to get more active, even as much as just walking for 10 minutes on the treadmill. We are set to go to Vancouver, which is known for hiking and scenery. And when planning the trip, I just pointed out to the fam that it'll be difficult to do a lot of the outdoor things since our mom has to take a break every 10 to 15 minutes from a simple walk. She got mad and said that we should just go on one without her. Typical mom exaggeration. This isn't the first time that we've had to stop everything we were doing on vacation just for her to rest after a literal 5-minute walk. I know it sounds very harsh on me for saying, but my point of view is telling the truth and wanting her to be better and more fit so she can enjoy these things as a family. I'm just not sure she fully does everything to try and get better. After the initial discussion, she said she can watch from afar and isn't bothered by us hiking or doing active stuff, so I thought everything was good. Then later, she and my dad started arguing, and she started crying about, I don't want to go to Vancouver now because my kids think I hold them back. I feel bad for what I said initially, but I still hold on to the fact that she simply just does not do enough to want to get better. And that yes, there are things that are out of your control, periods, hormonal issues, age, etc. But there are some things like, again, taking a 5-minute walk to at least improve the tiniest, but she doesn't even do that. Am I the astronaut for speaking my point of view? That's one way to say it, speaking my point of view. Let me back up to the beginning of the story because I feel like this is the most important part that they just kind of glaze over the rest of the time. For context, my mom deals with pretty bad spasms and leg pain.
I guess if you want your parents to go on vacation with you, plan a vacation where you aren't doing this type of walking and stuff. And if you want to go to Vancouver, make that your own vacation. I mean, I think that he should have said it nicer, but I also feel like they should be able to go on vacation and do what it is that they want to do. So maybe I feel like he shouldn't have been as shitty to his mom or her mom, but I mean, she can't do it. Like, she can't go on walks that long. She can't go hiking. She can't do the things that they're wanting to do on vacation. So I feel like it would be better to take a different vacation with the parents and then go to Vancouver with just himself or herself or whatever.
Which gives me the, I want you to pay for it.
Oh, are they paying for it?
But I don't want you to go. I don't know. Like we don't know OP's age here. I don't know if this is like a teenager. I don't know if this is a grown ass adult. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But either way, it gives the, like, I want you to facilitate this.
Yeah. I think me as older in life or whatever, and I have issues like this, I'm not going to be offended if I'm not able to do something with the rest of the family. Like, I would just do my own thing at that time because I don't want to hold them back. I want them to be able to explore whatever area we're in, and I'll just join them when I can. I mean, at the same time, like, I'm in a new place. There are things to do, I'm sure, that aren't hiking or doing these things. So I wouldn't be offended by this, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
You wouldn't be offended in the mom's position here?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay, so let's put ourselves in the mom's position for a moment here, because a lot of this is probably parallel frustration, right? A lot of this is probably situational frustration with her being frustrated about her condition and you know,
for sure.
OP probably has an oversimplified view of the cure here. It's like she doesn't try to do anything to try to get better. I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than you think it is.
100%. I think he's an asshole for that.
Yeah.
The little like jabs he has throughout the whole thing makes him bitchy. And like, in my opinion, it's just like, it's unnecessary.
And using this against her instead of being supportive and trying to help. And he used it against her in the discussion of this vacation too. And that's what I have the big problem with. Her reaction, I feel like is coming from a place of inner frustration and outer frustration. It's like, well, then I just won't go, right? If I'm going to be a burden to you, then I just won't go. And that, again, we talked earlier about the reactions matching the situation here. This is probably a bottled up reaction there too. Then they had a fight later on about going or not going, and going and just watching things and not going because she feels like a burden. Like, there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in that too, right? So OP, like, you're a contributor to a big problem here. You're not all of it though. You're part of it. But you definitely could have handled this better.
Ask on 3 for me personally, but you can pick whichever.
We're all with you there. I know. I understand. In OP's situation, this is something that OP has dealt with for a long time, and OP's frustrated with it too. Everybody's frustrated, right? It's not cool to take the jabs at her for something she doesn't have control over. And someday you're gonna have shit go wrong with you too, and you're gonna feel like a real big asshole for how you treated your mom back then, right? Like, that time is coming. It is coming. Cupcakes, glitter, and corporate sabotage. Hey Dusty, longtime lurker, full-time fan, part-time menace here. I love it. I've listened to every Reddit story you've ever read out loud and thought, wow, people are wild. Well, now I'm the wild one. So here's my submission for the Petty Revenge Hall of Fame, or possibly Petty Revenge Jail. You decide. So I work in PR at a very corporate job. Think beige walls, inspirational posters, and people who unironically say things like, let's circle back. We do monthly birthday parties in the break room. Usually it's catered sheet cake and awkward clapping. Now enter Trish. Trish is the kind of person who says, I'm not trying to be rude, but, and then is absolutely trying to be rude. She constantly critiques everyone's food at potlucks, but never brings anything herself. She once called my lemon bars too pedestrian. Like, bitch, do you see these lemon bars growing legs and walking across the street? I don't think so. So when it came time for my birthday month, I decided to go all out. I'm known for my baking, so I made cupcakes from scratch. Chocolate fudge, cream cheese frosting, little edible gold stars. But for Trish's, I added a little something special. See, a few weeks prior, Trish had accidentally spilled her smoothie all over my laptop. The one with 4 years of files. No apology, no offer to help, just, maybe you shouldn't keep your drinks so close to your electronics. Thanks, Trish. Great insight. So I baked an extra cupcake just for her. Same frosting, same wrapper, except hers had a tiny hollow center filled with ultra-fine industrial-grade glitter. The kind that never leaves. The herpes of the craft world. I placed it strategically among the others, watched from across the break room as she beelined toward the prettiest one, mine, the trap. She took a bite, paused, looked confused, then pulled the cupcake away to inspect it, and that's when it happened. The frosting gave way, the cupcake collapsed, and a beautiful puff of glitter exploded directly into her cleavage, her face, and somehow her eyelashes. It looked like a unicorn had sneezed on her. No, I'm thinking. She shrieked, dropped the cupcake, and started trying to brush the glitter off, which of course just made it spread more. Within minutes, she looked like a disco ball that had seen some things. I walked up, handed her a napkin, and said, oh no, looks like you got the limited edition one. Must be your lucky day. She glared at me like she knew, but she couldn't prove a thing. Everyone else was too busy laughing and posting boomerangs of Glittergate 2025 to Slack. Glittergate. I don't know why that makes me giggle, but it makes me giggle. She went home early that day, came back the next morning still sparkling faintly. To this day, I still find flecks of glitter in her office chair. Justice. Thanks for letting me get this off my chest, Dusty. Tell Candy Thunder she can borrow the recipe anytime, minus the glitter or not. I think with the glitter. Also, okay, wait, she took a bite. It was in the middle. Hopefully she took a big bite in the middle and at least got a little bit of glitter in her system. Because the sparkly gems she'd be shitting for like a week.
The glitter Navy, 2 nights ago, wanted to put glitter on her finished paint projects. And so I was doing it. And she's like, I want to try. And I was like, don't, no. And then before I could, I was gently just shake it across the top. And she was like, poof, and it was like this, like a whole fucking puff of glitter across our table. So I understand this. And it's you're still finding it even though you've wiped the table 47 times. So I totally understand the flecks of glitter in her office chair years later.
It is everywhere. Edible glitter, I'm assuming. I mean, it was in a cupcake. Is OP here, by the way? It is follower submission. OP.
They say it's an industrial grade glitter. So I was wondering if it was edible glitter, because even the edible glitter is it explodes in the air and the whole thing looks they said unicorn vibes. So I'm I feel like it would probably be edible glitter, and it is super expensive, but especially if you filled an entire cupcake with it.
Worth it.
But glitter is forever. That's right.
My mother-in-law tried to outshine me at my wedding. A tale as old as time, I know. For background, my now husband proposed to me in January of 2019. Our plan was to marry in April of 2020. Then the pandemic hit and we were canceled a month before. Then after additional lockdowns and unfortunate family deaths, we pushed back our wedding 2 years. Now to the main story. For our wedding, we had decided that we wanted our mothers to wear champagne-colored dresses to give them importance. My mother found her dress a couple of months after we got engaged and was set. My mother-in-law was a completely different story. She waited out the 2 years to find a dress and said she didn't have enough time. To her credit, she went to over a dozen different stores, but she couldn't find anything because everything made her look fat, was too tight, showed her arms, didn't make her look skinny, her words. She went with her husband, my sister-in-law, also took one for the team and accompanied her to many stores. Nothing. Finally, a month and a half prior to the wedding, she goes to a bridal shop with sister-in-law, M. Now, this sister-in-law is the golden child and is an enabler to mother-in-law's shenanigans. They happen to find mother-in-law the perfect dress. They're so excited that they share with family about how great the dress is, and sister-in-law M says how mother-in-law will look better than the bride. Luckily, sister-in-law A is there. She catches a picture of the dress and sees that it's white.
Of course it is.
She voices her concern, but mother-in-law and sister-in-law M insist that it's the lighting in the shop. They say the dress isn't white, and the description in the magazine said champagne. Sister-in-law A texts me immediately to warn me. I am, of course, upset, but talked down. I then discuss with my husband and explain that if she wants to make a show of herself, I'm gonna let her. He's, however, irate about the situation and won't let it go. He decides to casually bring up the dress with his father. I overhear as his dad says, "Oh yeah, your mom has a great dress. She's gonna outshine the bride." My husband loses it and asks if he's being serious. My father-in-law gets defensive and says, "This wedding isn't just about you. It's about your mother." This conversation prompts my husband to confront his mother to see the dress. He sees that it is white and tells her she can't wear it. She tells him that he has to see it in person to see that it's not white. He goes with her to the bridal shop, confirms that it's white, and tells her she has to order a different color. Now, I'm not present for this, but according to him, she starts crying and complaining on what he wanted her to do when she has all of this, while she takes off her dress in front of him and shows him her stomach. He says he's forever traumatized by this day. He said she can keep the dress, but to order it in a different color. She ends up ordering a different color, but is so angry about it that she didn't smile once on our wedding day. All of our wedding photos have her sour face. I can't wait to get these printed out and hung for her to see. I'd like to say this is the worst thing she did at our wedding, but that's a story for another day. How was your mother-in-law on your wedding day? Hot damn. Well, at least she did end up being able to wear the dress. Hey, you know what?
I want the other stories.
Hold on.
I want them.
Green flag, hubby. Let's give credit where it's due here. Hubby was like, no, we're not doing
like
this.
How he...
You're going to take me to the store and you're going to show me the dress in person, and then you're going to get a new dress.
Why didn't she just dye it to be like champagne colored? I think they do that.
She wanted it to be white.
Oh, 100%.
Her words and daughter-in-law's words and father-in-law's words were outshine the bride. That was her goal.
So sister-in-law and dad
sister-in-law
said she was going to outshine the bride. Why would you want to outshine the bride on her wedding day? That's a thing. And that's got to be a...
That's a good... You know what? I'm glad you bring that up, because let's put ourselves in a mother-in-law's shoes for a moment. Like, if you decide you're going to try to outshine the bride, what do you think everyone else is thinking? Because everyone else is looking at you like you're a fool, right? Like you're trying to outshine the bride, which is not a good thing. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's gross. It's disgusting.
Stop being bitches.
I'm going to try to outshine the groom.
Stop being mother-in-laws that are threatened by, like, when your daughter-in-law is going to marry your son. Like, he's chosen to love this woman. He's chosen to be with this woman. Why are you doing this? I just don't understand it, like, at all. Like, it makes no sense to me. I try to wrap my brain around it, but it just isn't wrapping. There's so many things that I could say right now, but I'm not going to.
My girl, they're thinking you're a twat waffle. That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's what people are thinking.
Yeah, if I see somebody wearing, unless they were specifically asked to wear white, which I think is kind of cool when they have the guests wear black and white and the bride does a different color. Mm-hmm. But unless you're specifically asked, just don't do it. Like, just leave it for the bride or whatever. And
can I wear a light blue tuxedo? Oh, like ruffle shirt to the next wedding that we go to, just to see if I can outshine the groom. Can I do that? Yes, Austin Powers or Dumb and Dumber.
I won't be going with you.
I need a cane and a top hat as well. Am I the astronaut for putting my 9-year-old on a diet and emotionally damaging her? X, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have a 9-year-old daughter, Macy. We broke up when Macy was 5 and I moved away. I would see Macy in breaks and speak on the phone, so I was as involved as I could be. Last year I moved back. I now have her alternate weeks. I had noticed Macy starting to put on weight. She's not obese, but seeing her in person, I've noticed she has a belly which hangs over her waistband. She wears 12 to 13 clothes despite being only 9. I spoke to X and she got defensive, saying that Macy ate what she eats, X is skinny and healthy, and has a sport she goes to twice a week. I asked about portion size and other exercises. Twice a week for 90 minutes isn't that much. I was trying to stay friendly, but X shut me down. I know weight gets harder to lose the older you get, so I decided to keep a close eye and do what I could on her weeks with me. I did not put her on a crash diet, but I did start using a portion control plate and packing lean lunches instead of letting her buy her food. Carrot sticks, yogurt, flavored steamed chicken breast, etc. Macy complained at first, but then seemed fine with this. I also took her to the gym with me 4 times a week. My gym have parent and child classes. The only thing I said to Macy about it is that we were working to set her up for the future, being physically fit and mindful of what she eats. So last week, a kid is having a birthday and the parents are taking a small group to the movies and after to sleepover. The parents asked that everybody send their kid with their own snack and then the parents would buy popcorn on top to share. I'm trying to show my kid that snacks can be healthy, so I sent her with a bag of veggie sticks and hummus. She made a little fuss about not getting candy, but she seemed fine. I dropped her off and X was going to pick her up. Next day, X texts. I head over and X is not happy. Macy is upset and won't look at me. Apparently, when they were sat waiting for the movie, kids started comparing snacks. Macy told the other kids that they were going to get fat and unhealthy because their parents gave them those snacks. She said she had to eat the veggies so she could lose weight, and she wasn't allowed any popcorn. I never said this. Then at their house, after they ordered pizza for the kids, Macy refused to eat anything, saying she was going to get fat. The parents called X, and she came and got her. Macy was crying, saying that she was scared if she ate anything bad, she'd put on weight and everyone would hate her. She told X about our diet and gym. I hadn't, because it was my weeks, and why should I divulge all of our plans? So you mean you were hiding it because you knew it was wrong? Okay, let's be honest here. X ranted, saying Macy always came home tired and refusing to eat. She blames me for giving Macy a complex when she was healthy and active. I said if she was healthy, she wouldn't have a belly and be bigger than the other girls. I said that at least I cared about what the girl puts in her mouth, and she said M was happier before I moved back. Now X is telling me she won't send her back to me if I don't stop emotionally damaging her. So, am I the astronaut?
Dude.
This kid's 9.
This is a 9-year-old.
9.
Also, kid sizing. Like, it's never accurate.
It doesn't
like, and you're basing your daughter's weight off of sizing made by companies like that. Fuck you, dude. And yes, you gave your 9-year-old is not old enough to understand all of this. Like, I understand healthy snacks and balance, but your child is 9. She should not be burdened with the emotional toll of trying to lose weight and understand all of everything that comes with that. Like, I get like healthy eating and stuff, but there should be a balance. And when she's going to a birthday party, she should be allowed to have candy to take to the movie theater. Like, this is insane. Also, I think that you should teach your kids about sugar and how it isn't extremely healthy for our bodies, but this is not a child who can understand that. And then that turns around and comes out as shaming to other girls because she herself has been shamed by her own father. And now she's spreading that out into the wild. Like, and you did this all by yourself. And you didn't tell your ex because you knew it was wrong.
Exactly.
You kept it to yourself. It wasn't because you don't have to divulge every single plan. No, you don't. But you kept this specifically under your belt because you knew that your ex would object. And also, you're getting into health territory now. And so your ex had every right to know what you were making and what you were saying, what you were making your child do and what you were saying to her, because you are a f***ing asshole for doing this to a child who is not emotionally old enough to understand like what you're doing to her.
So where does it go from here? Like, obviously she doesn't want to go back over there. Obviously mom doesn't want to send her back over there because he's still doing this. Is this a modification of an agreement, of the custody agreement, because he's doing this shit? And in that case, does CPS get involved? Like, what? Okay, couple things we're going to go here. We're going to do FTG. This guy absolutely gets it. We're going to get Brozo rocking here too. And yeah, buddy, this is garbage. And yeah, and as the discussion in chat is going, he's probably the same kind of guy who's giving her mom grief over her baby weight, right? You don't get to do this. And when you do, you accept the risks and the ramifications of what happens afterward, come what may, right? Well, now you've done a number on your 9-year-old daughter who isn't going to want to spend time with you anymore because now mom's got to take charge in undoing the damage that you have done. And part of undoing that damage is identifying that you did this damage. So your 9-year-old is going to realize that you f***ed her up. Am I the astronaut for outing my husband's dead daughter at his birthday dinner? Oof. So this has been a wild couple of weeks, and I just need to get the story out there, Dusty, so here we go. I, 36 female, have been married to my husband Jake, 42 male, for 8 years. When we first met, he told me that he had a daughter from a previous relationship, but she had tragically passed away at the age of 6 in a car accident. He said it was too painful to talk about, and I respected that. Over the years, I tried not to pry, though I noticed he never kept any pictures or mementos of her. He never mentioned her name. I assumed it was his way of coping. We never had kids together, but I have a daughter from a previous relationship, Maya, Maya, a 15 female, who Jake has always treated as his own. He's been an involved stepdad, loving, present, and very protective of both of us. We live a pretty comfortable life thanks to Jake's job in finance. I work part-time and handle most of the home stuff. Anyway, 2 weeks ago was Jake's 43rd birthday. I threw him a nice dinner at our home with close friends and family. Everything was going well until Maya went to grab something from Jake's home office and came back looking like she had seen a ghost. She pulled me aside and said, "Mom, who is Emily?" I asked her what she meant, and she said Jake had framed photos on his desk of himself with a teenage girl, pictures that looked recent and had been recently unwrapped. She found a birthday card that said, "Love you, Dad, Emily." I was confused and honestly thought maybe he kept old photos hidden and decided to put them out for his birthday or something, so I asked him about it in private. And this is where it all fell apart. Jake froze. Then he sighed. And he admitted that Emily is his daughter, but not a dead one, a very alive 17-year-old girl he's been supporting financially and emotionally her entire life. He said he never told me because he didn't want the drama and was worried how it would affect our relationship. When I asked how on earth he explained her to other people, he admitted that his ex agreed to keep things quiet and out of social media so that his real family wouldn't get disrupted. At that point, I lost it. I told him that not only was this a massive betrayal, but he lied about a dead child. He tried to gaslight me by saying he never said she died, just that it was too painful to talk about. No, sir, you literally told me she died in a car accident. Now, here's where I might be the asshole. I went back to the dinner table. Everybody was mid-cake and presents, and I just snapped and I said, "So, just curious, how many of you know that Jake's supposedly dead daughter is actually alive and well and sending him birthday cards?" The room went silent. His mother dropped her fork. One of his friends laughed nervously, and his sister said, "Oh my God, you told her she was dead?" Turns out his whole family knew. They just thought that I knew and that it was some kind of weird blended family situation. I stormed out and took Maya with me. We've been staying at my sister's house since then. Jake has been texting and calling nonstop. He says I humiliated him on his birthday and that I blew up my relationship with Emily, who is apparently now refusing to speak to him. His mom texted me and said that I was immature and vindictive and that family secrets exist for a reason.
What?
The reason is to get exposed and for everyone to flip the out. I get that it wasn't the best time or place, but I feel like I was married to a stranger. I don't even know what else he's lied about. Since that night, I contacted a lawyer. Turns out Jake had a separate bank account where a portion of his income, like 25%, was going directly to his ex for Emily. I had no idea. Also, he was putting away money for Emily's college, but not for Maya, the girl he's raised since she was 7. Emily didn't know about me either. She thought Jake and her mom had a private arrangement because I was unstable and didn't want him to have contact with his ex. She's devastated. Apparently, her mom is furious too and is considering cutting contact altogether. Jake is now claiming that he only lied because he loved us all so much to lose us. I'm meeting again with my divorce attorney tomorrow. So, am I the astronaut for blowing up my husband's spot and outing his secret child at his birthday dinner? No. No. No.
What?
And I think what you could do now is you can just refer to him as having tragically passed in a car accident and pretend like he doesn't exist, but still get checks from him. You know, just like...
Again, what?
Okay, this is one of those snowball lies that like he might have panicked and said at one point and then had to stick with it, and it just snowballed into a point where he's been keeping up a charade for 8 years.
And they were all just like, everyone was in on it?
The family playing along. Yeah, the family playing along is like...
So they all know her. They all like, I mean, this is almost like it is a second life. Like they all had like, it's like your mother-in-law finding out that she was in on the affair type situation.
Well, hold on, because the family all thought the family didn't know that he said that she was dead. They thought they didn't talk about it because OP was unstable and jealous and wanted to pretend that she didn't exist. That's what they believed. So everyone was lied to by him.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone. I think we can safely...
Except for the mom, because she called her vindictive. And
okay. Maybe it
mom,
was. Maybe mom was the only one who knew,
yeah.
which that tracks.
I'm so confused.
Sending this boy to the black hole. We got 2 sacrifices for you, black hole gods. Hey, Dusty Thunder here, and I wanted to thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that content, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Also, You can find swag and so much more at dusty-thunder.com, and you'll find even more content on all of our platforms. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We now have an official Facebook page that we'll be posting stories to as well. We have podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and so much more. You can see all of our content platforms on Linktree, which is linked in my bio. Engage with us wherever you're enjoying content and do your best to avoid the Askonauts today. Thanks again.